Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to another video of Raw and Uncut. I've been away for a while, but looking to get back on a normalized schedule here and pump out some videos for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Look, we're going to talk a little bit about the Nets. We'll talk a little bit about the Mets today. I'll timestamp everything in the description, so if you guys want to fast forward, all good. So big news obviously this week, the past 2 weeks. We're getting the NBA back, we're getting Major League Baseball back. So we'll see for how long they come back. This is really fucking crazy times. My personal opinion is we'll get some sports back, right? They'll start playing the games, and I think at some point I feel like it's just gonna get all shut down, but we'll see what happens. For now, we know Major League Baseball, the Mets, NBA, the Nets. That's what we're getting. So let's jump right into it. We'll start off with the Mets. Look, before this season, I believe the Mets were primed to make a playoff run. Okay, that's not my homerism. I really believe that the way they ended last season, they played some really good baseball. The back end of the season. So I think there's a lot to build off of that. The big key here is getting the DH in the National League. And look, I don't like the idea of 60 games. It's not a fucking baseball season, all right? 60 games, but it is what it is. And the DH helps every team in the National League, but I think there's maybe 5 teams where it helps them even more, and I believe the Mets are one of them. I don't want to see Cespedes touch the field, not for one inning. Not for one inning. I don't want to see him on the field. That's the perfect hitter that you want as your DH. And I think we have other options that can also be a DH, playing 60 games in 66 days. You need to give Cespedes a day or two off. You got Robinson Cano, you got Jeff McNeil, you got J.D. Davis. Those guys are all, you got Conforto. There's a lot of players that can, and with the expanded roster, I think it just benefits us big time. So I look forward to having the DH in the National League. The other thing that's going to be key is going to be the arms. Obviously we're not going to have Syndergaard. So I'm hoping we get from our rotation, I'm hoping we get 6, 7. I would really like the minimum to be 7 innings from our starters. And then, turn it over to our bullpen. We reworked this bullpen in the offseason, so I really want to see us utilize those guys in the bullpen to the max. And there should be no reason why DeGrom gets taken out, pitching 7 innings and having thrown 100 pitches. This is the time to use him and overuse him, I think. So if we got to use him for 115, 120 pitches, so be it. This is, we only have 60 games to work with. This is not a marathon. This is a totally unique situation for us, for everybody, right? For all the teams involved. But, in our case, we got the best pitcher the past 2 seasons, the reigning back-to-back Cy Young Award winner. So I think we rely on that horse to the max. But make no mistake about it, the road to the playoffs and to the World Series is going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough because the way the schedule is, we're going to be playing 40 games within the division and then 20 versus the AL East. If you take out the Orioles and the Marlins, the rest of those teams, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays, Nationals, Phillies, Braves, that's going to be a tough road. It's going to be tough for all the teams, right? But it's just going to be tough. And whoever comes out of this, if the World Series winner comes out of, or even just the National League champion comes out of the NL East, it's going to be earned. And I think the Mets, are going to really have to work for this. It's not going to be easy, but it's not going to be easy for all the teams involved. So it's really a fair playing field. There's really no team that has an advantage. I don't know where the hell they're going to be playing at. If they're going to be playing at the home parks, but I doubt there'll be any fans. So you don't have the juices flowing from the fans. It's going to be tough, man. Whoever comes out of these two divisions, they're going to have to fucking earn it. And I'm just excited to see the Mets. I think the Mets are going to field a good team out there. I think they're going to be really good. I would like to see 35 wins from them. That would be what, 35 and 25 record. I would like to see at least 35 wins. I expect them to finish over over 500. I guess the other question surrounding the Mets is who the fuck is going to buy the Mets? I got no idea who's going to buy the Mets. All I know is that I want somebody or some people, whoever, a group, whatever it may be, I want somebody to hurry up and purchase the Mets. Okay? I won't be mad if right after this video somebody purchases the Mets because I'm going to go outside and do cartwheels butt naked down the block. The Wilpons need to get out of there. I can't stress it enough how unfortunate us fans have been with the Wilpons, being owners. I don't think they care about us not one bit. All they care about is their pockets. I think that's pretty obvious. I don't care who buys the Mets. It could be J-Lo and A-Rod, Steve Cohen, the horse racing guy. I don't care who buys them, okay? As long as the Wilpons don't get to see the glory when the Mets win a World Series. I don't want the Wilpons to feel like they deserve any of that credit. And I don't want them to be responsible for any championship and champagne popping celebrations that these Mets will have one day. I don't want them to be a part of it. So I don't know who the fuck is going to buy the Mets. I kind of like the A-Rod and J-Lo combination because I feel like you get with J-Lo, you'll get some more business. She'll bring the business aspect to it, and I feel like with A-Rod, you'll get some of that business aspect, but you'll also get a lot of baseball, right? I feel like A-Rod is gonna really worry about putting together a really good team. And look, he's still young enough. He can go out there and fucking help coach or whatever. Okay, so I like that combination, but I also like Steve Cohen because he's got some emotional ties to the Mets where we don't have that with the Wilpons. There's no emotional ties. There's just it's all money driven, and I understand it's a business, right? Absolutely it's a business, but with Cohen, you kind of have some strings attached, right? There's really a want for the team to succeed and be good, and with the Mets, with the Wilpons, all there is how many asses can we put in the stands? So, and that's all they care about. So I won't be mad if it's J-Lo and A-Rod. I won't be mad if it's Cohen. I just want it to be someone that really has a passion for the Mets, that cares about the Mets, and their best interest is obviously their business, which is going to be the Mets, and put in a team that's going to win. Put something together that's going to keep us fans happy and winning. That's it, man. Look, the fucking Yankees, I don't like the Yankees one bit. Nobody does, right? Except Yankee fans, but they know how to put together a team. They go out there and they spend it on the right players. There's a reason why they have 27 world championships. There's a reason why they're competitive every single year. Even when the Red Sox and the Rays are good, they're still competitive. Okay? They get into the playoffs. The Mets are the complete opposite. And ownership, it's all ownership driven, and it starts at the top. That's my take. Again, I have no idea who the fuck is gonna buy the Mets. I hope somebody buys the Mets, and I'll be probably the happiest mother effer on the planet when the Wilpons are out of Queens and out of sight for good. So we'll see. It's really an exciting time to be a Mets fan. I think there's a lot to look forward to, and I hope we end up finishing this baseball season once it starts. Hopefully we don't have to cancel it and all that bullshit. So of course the NBA is also back. They're gonna be playing 8 games. There's 22 teams. There's what 9 teams out of the East. And when it comes to the Nets, look, I believed, and I kind of still do believe that they should be playing Kyrie and Kevin Durant. I think they should be playing because, like I said a while back, the Nets are not on the outside looking in. They're in the playoffs right now, and I think with them coming back, I mean that would be huge, right? But it is what it is. They're not going to be playing, so we have to play with the cards that were dealt. And this couldn't be a better time for Caris Levert and Dinwiddie to really become a 1-2 punch. Okay, we got 8 games to either be the 7 or 8 seed. I don't think we can catch the 76ers at number 6. I think we're 8.5 back of them. So, it's really gonna boil down to the Magic and the Nets for that 7 and 8 seed. What matters to me with these Nets is I want to see them be competitive. Okay, it's one thing to lose a series 4-0, 4-1, but the game's got to be close. They got to be within 7 points, 5 points. I just want to see them be really competitive. I think we'll get some good Nets basketball. Obviously, what worries me is we have a new coach, Jacques Vaughn, but these guys are kind of auditioning for next season. So I think we'll get some really good basketball from them. I don't think it'll be good enough for us to advance to the second round, and I'm cool with that. I don't expect them to, but I just want to see some real competitive basketball. I want them to be in these games, and I think this is a really good opportunity for Caris Levert to shine. I think this is going to be his shining moment. Last year in the first round against the Sixers, he had some pretty good games. I just think Kenny Atkinson really mismanaged his minutes. He had a game where he was playing really good in the first half. I think it might have been game 1, game 2 maybe. I think it was game 1. And then in the second half, we didn't see him. And I'm tweeting out, why is Caris Levert not getting any burn in the second half? So would Dinwiddie, but I lean more towards Caris Levert as far as if you had a gun to my head, who do I keep for next season? I think Caris Levert is that guy. As long as he stays healthy, and I really hate that phrase because it's true. If he stays healthy, I mean, he's had injuries, right? And, it's kind of worrisome a little bit, but he's got so much potential, right? And he was playing so good before this shutdown. I really want to see him be that third wheel with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. So, look, my prediction here, if I had to pick one, is I don't think we're going to make it out of the first round. I think we'll obviously make the playoffs, but I just want to see us be in games. That's it. Getting a head coach, right? We're going to have to get a head coach at some point. I don't know. There's really not too many out there that I like. The one person that I feel would fit perfect on any team probably, but most importantly on this team, to really go together with KD and Kyrie is Greg Popovich. I don't think it's out of the question that we land Pop. There was word that he sold his house in San Antonio, so I like conspiracy theories. That's a good one, but I don't know. We could end up with him. We could not. He could just say, I'm too old for this shit and I don't want to coach anymore. But the idea of Sean Marks, reeling in Greg Popovich, I've always said Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are calling the shots. And if those two guys say, let's go get Popovich, we want Greg Popovich to coach this team, and they reach out, look, Greg Popovich has a better chance of winning right now, next year with the Nets, than he does with the rebuilding Spurs. So I don't know. I know there's other names out there, but you know, whoever coaches the Nets has to know that, has to understand what they're walking into. So that's, and has to accept that. All right. And I'm not a fan of that part. Like, if we get a coach that is just going to let the players, run the team, run the plays, I'm not really all for that. And the only coach that can really negate that to an extent is Greg Popovich. So, I'm gonna stress and I'm gonna root for Greg Popovich to be the next coach of the Nets. If it happens, I don't know. Is it a long shot? Maybe. Is it unrealistic? No, I don't think it's unrealistic. It's a very logical destination for Greg Popovich to end up in Brooklyn. So, that remains to be seen. Well, that's it for this video. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at RAW and UNCUT New York Talk. And like I said, I know I haven't been making videos very frequently, but I'm gonna try to normalize this thing and get back into the groove, especially now that since we got some basketball and baseball coming up in the next month or so. So I'll check you guys out on the next one.